Okay, let's talk about drilling holes in these lids, because there's surprisingly different ways to do it, and some of which seem obvious and aren't. So, first you have, hole saw, and you can choose whatever size hole saw you want. Anybody who's ever used a hole saw knows that you got to really brace yourself when you're using it, and you got to super slow. So, even though this material is very thin, you actually still need to treat it like it's super rigid material, or else that hole saw is going to twist and break your wrist and throw you around, and it's really quite surprising. The other thing is, when you do it with a hole saw, you're going to get like a pretty rough thing here, right? Unless you're super careful and super slow, it's just going to end up rough. And this one I cleaned up a little bit already with a knife, right? So the other option with the hole saw is actually to run the hole saw in reverse. And when you run it in reverse, what you do is you actually melt your way through the plastic, and you get a nice clean hole on both sides here. But it actually takes quite a bit of time. It's not fast, but it is worth it. You're not going to do 1,000 of these, but running the hole saw in reverse is a really probably the best way to do it. The other way to do it is, for this particular lid, I cut this with a knife. And what made that easy is, if you look on the back, actually it's easier to see on this one, you see there's this sort of lip here. So rather than pushing the knife down into the lid, you can push it in at the side and get a pretty good, you turn the lid and turn, and in your hand as you're working it, but you can get a pretty good circle by doing that. And this is actually pretty fast, probably faster than running the hole saw in reverse. So that's it's not a lot of information, but hole saw in reverse gives you the cleanest hole, but it's pretty slow. But just a knife around the outside, if you want to save your money and don't buy a hole saw, this works pretty well, because you can just sneak right into that circle that's right there, right from the side, and just run your knife around and keep it low and flat, and you'll be good. So I don't know. Hope that's helpful to somebody out there.